Tennessee baseball, guys, in case you haven't noticed, is on a roll. They are defending their national championship in a big way. So, over the weekend at the Arizona Foundation College Classic in Houston, Texas, Tennessee scored 2 ranked wins. They beat Oklahoma State on Friday, 5-2, and then they beat Arizona on Monday, 5-1. Oklahoma State was 16th, and Arizona was 24th. And then on Tuesday, last night, they hosted Radford, a game they were supposed to win. But boy, did they not just win it. Okay, they won it by creating history. This Tennessee baseball program had 3 grand slams on the night. 3. 2 in the same inning. Yes, I'm not kidding. They beat Radford 22-9 off a run roll, despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. And they fell behind 3-0 in the first inning. They ended up with 3 grand slams. It started in the bottom of the third, trailing Radford 4-2. You had Reese Chapman homer, driving in 4 runs to give Tennessee a 6-4 lead. Then in the 7th inning, Tennessee was only up 12-9, and Andrew Fisher hit a grand slam, which gave them a 16-9 lead. Excuse me, no, entering the 7th inning, they were only up 11-9, and then on a walk with the bases loaded, Hunter Inslee walked with the bases loaded. That sent 1 run in, and on the very next at bat, Andrew Fisher hit a grand slam. 2 more runs scored with 2 more base hits, including a triple and then a walk. And then finally, the game ended on a run roll after Blake Grimmer, coming in and pinch hitting for Hunter Inslee, hit a home run to give Tennessee a 22-9 win. This Tennessee baseball team is now back at number 1 in many of the polls. Not unanimous, but they are back at number 1 in many of the polls. And they are absolutely lapping the field in everything. They lead the nation in home runs with 36 on the night. They are 3rd in the nation in runs with 150. But spoiler alert, that's in 12 games. They would be, I believe, tied for 2nd. I'm sorry, they'd be 2nd to VMI if it was runs per game. They're absolutely dominating in every facet, and their pitching is still elite. They're 4th right now in ERA at 2.16. Is Tony Vitello delivering an encore that we didn't think possible? I thought after finally delivering a national championship for Tennessee baseball, Tony Vitello might even entertain the Arkansas job, and Tennessee baseball fans and Tennessee athletic fans in general will just kind of rest, be like, you know what? We got a national championship in another sport. Chalk that one up. But the excitement is still there, and it's not going anywhere. Is Tennessee baseball now, is this Tennessee baseball team more exciting than last year's team was? I mean, they're certainly looking like it. This Tennessee baseball program is absolutely incredible. So I guess, an honest question, is this Tennessee baseball program better than last year's baseball program was? I didn't think that possible. Honestly, I thought last year's baseball program, they should have been the favorite to win the national title from the start, and they were. They got 60 wins. I think, didn't they enter as the number 1 overall seed in the tournament? I believe they did. They just went on a roll the whole time. I want to set that up as a poll question. And for the first, the CFP committee's biggest problem is conflicts of interest, not valuing strength of schedule. Nothing, they're fine. 71% say not valuing strength of schedule. I'm going to set up the poll question. Is this Tennessee baseball team better than last year? First, portions of the program are brought to you by Ted Russell Ford Lincoln Studios.
Like a blast from the past, the super dealer is back. Look to the skies, Knoxville. The Super Dealer is fighting for price, service, and the American made. Ted Russell Ford is your Super Dealer, just in time for Truck Month. Save up to $5,350 on this new Ford F-150 XLT Hybrid, or save up to $7,000 on this new Ford Expedition. Come see the Super Dealer today at either Ted Russell Ford.
Welcome back to the program. Again, we're asking the question, is this year's Tennessee baseball team better than last year's Tennessee baseball team? Offensively, they look like they could be. I'll just say that. I don't think they dropped. I don't think they hit 3 grand slams in a game last year. Now, last year's Tennessee baseball team did have a sweep of Illinois in a series in which they scored 24 runs one time. So, they were really, really, really good. But this one is just rolling through the field at this point, and they're just absolutely cleaning house with everybody. And again, an 11-run 7th inning with 2 grand slams for a midweek game. That's just absolutely insane for a program that actually in Radford put up a decent fight. I don't know. You guys tell me, is this year's Tennessee baseball team better than last year's? It's debatable. It's probably too early to tell, but they already have 2 top 25 wins. So you can't ignore the fact that they've already produced to a certain degree. Now, last year's team opened the year with a top 25 win, beating number 18/21 Texas Tech 6-2, and then they beat Oklahoma and Baylor. They had a more impressive start in terms of schedule strength to the season, but that doesn't mean that this one has not been good. And we're talking, again, the Oklahoma State and Arizona wins were impressive, and they've just been blowing everybody out. This team scored, the real story, this team scored 29 runs in 7 innings against UNC Asheville back in mid-February. It was their 4th game of the year. So they scored 29 runs, and then they just scored 22 runs over Radford. Now, they haven't done it against a major opponent yet, but this team is absolutely insane in what they're doing so far. So that's the poll question. Is this Tennessee baseball team better than last year? With only 5 votes in, 60% say yes, 40% say no. The baseball team is back in action. The win over Radford was the first of a back-to-back midweek games in the night between Radford Tuesday and Xavier on Wednesday. And then this weekend, they're at Lindsey Nelson Stadium to take on St. Bonaventure. And before West Georgia, they face them next Tuesday. And a week from Friday, they begin SEC play at home against the Florida Gators. Excuse me. So still a lot of ball before SEC play hits. A lot of questions about this team. Daniel Maddox says, I honestly think this is Tony's best lineup yet, and he's had some dandies smashing their own records. I agree. David Speak says, we won't even see Osunda this year since he's ineligible. That's a good point. Osunda's ineligible, and they're looking insane. Gavin Killian was a single away from running the cycle over this past weekend. Great point, Unsung. This is really, really, really impressive. And Unsung says Liam Doyle's a monster of a pitcher. Yep. So I think that we'll have to see. We can't declare it yet better than last year's basketball team, but they certainly look really, really, really good. Portions of the program are brought to you by the UPS Store Hardin Valley, helping individuals and small businesses, wide range of products and services, locally owned and operated. It's at 10629 Hardin-Valley. It's at 10629 Hardin Valley Road. Looking at the poll question one more time. Is this your Tennessee baseball team better than last year? 67% of you now say yes. 33% say no. Now, we'll have to see how SEC play goes. We saw from Josh Heupel in football. It's very easy to run up the score against lesser teams. Can they do it when they begin SEC play? That's going to be the debate.